Hey, how's it going? This is Jerry Heron here making another YouTube video. And I was wondering, have you ever thought what was the worst operating systems of Microsoft Windows? Well, that's what I'm going to do today in this video. I'm going to talk about what were the worst operating systems that Microsoft Windows ever released. The worst operating systems of Microsoft Windows ever released. I have three that were the worst ones in my opinion. If you have one you don't like, you can post down in the comments down below. So I'm going to talk to you about what was the worst operating system since, at least in my opinion, and I'm going to do a count of the three. So the third operating system down three. So we start with number three. We have Windows Mint Alien Edition, also known as Windows ME or Windows Me. This came out in the year 2000, and this operating system was so horrible. It's also nicknamed to Windows Mistake Edition. However, though, there was two different versions of Windows in the year 2000: Windows Me and Windows 2000. Windows Me was basically the version for home user, and Windows 2000 was more made for business. So Windows Me had many glitches. Every time you would close a program, you always click on a button to reactivate your desktop. It would always crash a lot, and when I would run it in a virtual machine, sometimes the volume wouldn't always work right away. At least I'm not sure that was an actual thing on Windows Me or just my virtual box. I'm not sure. But Windows Me didn't need to exist because it came between Windows 98 and so if they really had to make another version of Windows in 2000, they should just left it with Windows 2000 as being the business version of Windows 98. So that's why Windows Mint Alien Edition didn't need to exist because it came between Windows 98. Because I know there were some people that used Windows 2000. I know a lot of people, businesses use Windows 2000. Some used it even for as home user. So Windows Me didn't need to exist because it was so slow. It always you always had to reactivate your desktop, and it was also nicknamed as Windows Mistake Edition. So that's why those are the reasons why Windows Mint Edition didn't need to exist. And of course, it only lasted for 1 year because in a year after, in 2001, Windows XP came out and became the most popular version of Windows that lasted for like so long. And even after they stopped selling it, even after and the support, people still continue using it. Windows XP. And stuff. So Windows like after Windows Me, a year to Windows Me, Windows XP came out, so it was no big deal, and a lot of people didn't even use the Windows Me. A lot of people just stuck with Windows 98 or Windows 2000 and then got Windows XP, and some people that had Windows Mail Edition just upgrade to Windows XP as it was the best version of Windows ever. And which I love Windows XP. Windows XP is like the best Windows operating system. It brings back lots of great memories. I've had it since I used it as a kid. It's like one of the only versions of Windows I can remember very well. And I know some people didn't even get a computer until Windows XP was around. So we have Windows Manila Edition, and now here we have number two. It's Windows 8 from 2012. Basically, the time Microsoft was really trying to blend desktop and mobile tablets was together because they saw that that mobile tablets were becoming more popular, and they thought, you know what, we should have the same thing on a mobile desktop. We should have the same thing, like a mobile desktop on a computer and a laptop. But it didn't turn out too well because people were so loved the whole start menu, from the old version of Windows. People love the start menu, and in Windows 8 they got rid of the start menu. When you press start, it would turn to a tablet. Like I said, they were trying to make computers and laptops look like mobile tablets as they were becoming so popular. So they realized people were picking mobile tablets more than PCs and laptops. So they thought, let's have the same thing so we can make more money. So I can understand why they did it, obviously, because they wanted to make they wanted to make more money because we have to make money somehow. But still, I personally did not use Windows 8 until I got my HP laptop, the one before the one I'm using right before the Acer CI5 laptop. When I got that Christmas 2014, it had Windows 8 on it, and I thought it was all right. It wasn't the best, but then when Windows 10 came out, I did a free upgrade, and I got Windows 10. It was much better because I didn't want to make that same mistake I made with Windows Vista. When then I wanted to try Windows Vista so badly, it became a total disaster. So I didn't even bother using Windows 8 till later on. I just stuck with Windows 7 as that was a much better operating system, as that's like the same thing as XP, except it looks a lot modern and stuff. So there we have Windows 8. And now, in my perspective, the worst operating system, in my opinion, was Windows Vista, released in 2006. Well, it was released in manufacturing in 2006, but then general availability, it was in 2007. 2006, 2007, what you want to call it. Yeah, and Here's the things I hate about Windows Vista. It was very slow. It always crashed a lot, and you couldn't run any old programs you were able to run on XP. And even existing programs that were still existing on Windows XP, you couldn't even run. It was just a complete disaster. It was annoying to deal with. And if you had like a printer from Windows Vista, like a wireless printer from a wireless printer from your old version of it, like an old printer from Windows XP, and you got a new computer with Windows Vista, or you upgrade from Windows Vista, the printer from Windows XP would not work with Windows Vista, which was very annoying. You had to like go get a new printer and spend extra money to make it work with Windows Vista, which is really annoying. You had to spend extra money to get a printer to work with Windows Vista, which is really annoying. And you also become Windows Vista would slip into more disaster if you upgrade from XP to Vista. So you realize when you put the Vista disk inside your XP computer and upgrade from XP to Vista, Vista would run a lot slower because and you think that Windows Vista just sucks, but it was the computer's having problems. The problem was Windows XP computers were not made for running Windows Vista. They were too old and not powerful enough to run Windows Vista. So that's the thing. Windows Vista wasn't really the problem there. It was your computer that was not powerful to run Windows Vista that had Windows XP on it before. Yeah, and another thing I did not like about Windows Vista was the user account control. It was a really great term of security, but it would always pop up all the time. Like when installing when installing a program, I can understand, but when you're running the program, it's already installed. It always pop up. It's like, do you know where this program is coming from? Press yes and allow to allow the program to run. Like that's annoying. Like if you were an administrator, you would be able to click and allow, but if you're a standard user, you couldn't run the program unless an administrator typed its password in, which is really annoying. Like for installing the program, I can understand, but for running the program, that's when it became annoying. It's obviously safe to use if you already. It's obviously safe to use if you already installed it. That's another thing. But on Windows 7, at least you were able to minimize it. And on Windows 7, it only popped up when I was trying to install a program. When I was trying to run a program, it would never pop up at all. Windows 7, that feature was corrected in Windows 7. So I'm really happy it was corrected in Windows 7 because I was really fed up when that would always pop up on Windows Vista. Windows Vista never really got a chance to recur because then Windows 7 came out, and then that became the most probably Windows, and a lot of people were like, you know what, I'm not even gonna bother using Windows Vista. I'm just staying on XP until something better comes out. So yeah, a lot of people just deliberately just avoided Windows Vista and just kept on using Windows XP, which I don't blame them. Like I just want to try Vista because it looked better, but then it turned out to be a complete disaster. So that's all my opinions on what are the worst operating system for Microsoft Windows. If you have one you hate even more, hate less, let me know down below in the comments. Right now, the current Windows is Windows 11, and I love Windows 11. It's pretty good. My three favorite versions of Windows, though, Windows 10 and Windows 11 are awesome, but the three versions of Windows that are always a big hit from my childhood are Windows 98, Windows XP, and Windows 7. Those operating systems never get old. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. See you in my next video. This is Jerry Heron signing off.